Discover Planet of the Apes.
In 1968, a science fiction film would be released that would shape the future of science fiction movies going into the 70s. Planet of the Apes was released by 20th Century Fox and would make a huge profit for the studio. A sequel quickly went into production, and with the success of the sequel, Fox started to look at bringing the apes to the small screen and doing more sequels. But they needed some help supporting a new series of films and TV series, so Fox sold the toy rights to Planet of the Apes movies and the upcoming television show to about 60 different companies. In a way, they would sell to any company willing to pay for the rights. This would lead to the market being flooded with Planet of the Apes model kits, coloring books, read-along books, trading cards, role-playing toys, costumes, tableware, lunchboxes, and so much more. There have been merchandising rights sold to films before, but this was the first time one was done on this scale, and being used to produce a television series and film sequels. Out of the 60 companies buying up the rights to Planet of the Apes, only one of them would get action figure rights, which would be the big get for any toy company. The rights to those action figures would come down to a small toy company called AHI. AHI was founded in 1964 and mostly sold cheap novelty toys at small discount stores. This small toy company found itself in the head office of 20th Century Fox in 1973, ready to make a license deal for one of the biggest ongoing movie series that could change the future of the small toy company. Around this same time, Mego founder Marty Abrams took his son Kenny to see a marathon of all 5 Planet of the Apes movies that were hitting theaters called Go Ape. The legend goes that Marty was blown away not only by the films, but by the excitement his young son had watching them. The next day, he reached out to 20th Century Fox and said whatever AHI was paying for the rights, his toy company Mego would pay more. He also promised better quality in toys and better sales than AHI could bring. AHI was already in the process of making what Planet of the Apes toys they could when they got the call that Fox had decided to give Mego the action figure rights to the film, but they did allow AHI to continue making some Planet of the Apes toys. They would go on to release wind-up Planet of the Apes characters and other small Planet of the Apes novelty toys, but they were already hard at work at an 80-inch action figure line for Planet of the Apes. What would this small toy company do? Trash all the hard work and lose all that money they've already spent? No way. So AHI kept making the Planet of the Apes action figures and retitled it Action Ape Man. Being they already had started work on the line before Mego, they were able to get their Planet of the Apes style action figures into stores long before Mego. They released 5 8-man action figures that was clear to anyone to be a rip-off toy line of Planet of the Apes. Once Mego got word that there was a knockoff Planet of the Apes action figure line already in stores, they, along with 20th Century Fox, would file a lawsuit against AHI. Rather than fight the big toy and studio in court, AHI agreed to an injunction, paid Mego and 20th Century Fox for damages, stopped producing the 8-man action figures, but they were able to keep their deal to make other non-action figure Planet of the Apes toys. The small, quickly forgotten Action 8-Man disappeared from most toy stores without fans even knowing about them, as Mego went on to release their very successful Planet of the Apes action figure line. A few years later, in 1974, AHI would buy the knockoff Toy King empire, Remco, and bring some official toys to the stores, such as a very successful line of Universal Monsters, a beloved line of Space 1999 toys, and tons of different DC and Marvel-related superhero toys. That was until 1997 when Remco was bought out by another toy company, Jakks Pacific. Well, that's a look at the battle for the Planet of the Apes action figure line. I want to thank you for watching. As always, thumb up so you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.